Owen have returned to the shop on a number of occasions.
That's right, yeah.
Will you just tell me again about the threats you told the police Mr. Owen made?
Well, they wasn't exactly threats.
Glad you point that out, Mr. Mills. It's certainly the conclusion I'd reached myself. Perhaps you can tell the court exactly what Mr. Owen did say.
Well, he asked for a paper.
That hardly sounds very threatening. What did he say?
What's the matter with him?
Just
You ask me, they've got to him.
Very well. Let's turn to Mr. Davies and Mr. Malone. We'll see if we have any more luck with them, shall we? On their subsequent visits to your shop, unaccompanied, as you say, by Mr. Owen, have they too made purchases?
Yeah, they have bought things. Cigarettes.
So they have, in fact, become regular customers.
Could say that.
So would you not agree that Mr. Owen introduced you to 2 new regular customers, thereby increasing the value of your business?
Yes, miss.
And yet you told the police you were threatened. Was that a voluntary statement? If I may clarify, I put it to you, Mr. Mills, that Detective Sergeant Roach asked you to present this story to help him further a personal campaign against Mr. Owen.
We are not here, Miss Alexander, to impugn the activities of the police.
Finally, just so that I get it quite clear, on his first brief visit to you, apart from asking for a newspaper, what exactly did Mr. Owen say to you?
Well, nothing.
Not even a committal. You just tell me what's the point in having courts at all. All I want to do is just go around Mickey Owen's place, kick his door down, and see to him myself.
Here we go. Din-dins.
Thanks. Cheers.
It's only the battle, Ted. Not the war.
We were so close he was almost slopping off the dock.
I like that. But don't give up the day job.
Yeah, you're right. Why should I be letting Mickey Owen give me ulcers? But all that time finding one victim who'd stand up. I just thought we had him.
That's your lot. I've got these to do. Why I joined the action-packed life of a DI.
50 quid off a local fag shop. What's he taking off the restaurants? The bookies.
Damn sight more than you're taking, that's for sure, Ted.
I'll get him.
Of course you will. CID. DI Burnside. CID. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Mr. Roach there.
Off duty. Message?
When's he back on?
Tomorrow morning. You got a name?
I'll call back.
Suit yourself.
Are you the one that runs the charm courses?
Yeah, that's right. I'll enrol you when I got a vacancy.
have a word, shall we, Ted? Don't make me raise my voice, Ted. No need to get out of the car, but I would like you to open the window. Otherwise, I only have to get Danny here to do it for you. See? Likely to work out a bit expensive. An inch will do. Thanks, Ted.
I'm not scared of you, Mickey. I know it's going to happen, but I promise you at least 2 of you will get hurt before it does. You're not pushing around a frightened little shopkeeper now.
Not even on the agenda, Ted. Word of honour. Not tonight. So just listen. See, I'm a great believer in British justice.
You should be. Put you away enough times.
Not necessary. That's not necessary at all. But since you mention it, you lost fair and square in a court of law. Other times it's been me. Far as I'm concerned, it's over. And yet, all evening, you're carrying out your own little steward's inquiry.
Free citizen, Mickey. Just like you. I go where I like.
Not anymore.
Anywhere I like.
That's what I was afraid you'd say. That's you all over, Ted, isn't it, eh? Your own worst enemy. Look at you. You smoke, you drink too much, you don't eat properly. No wonder nobody cares about you. And that flat of yours, I mean, all them takeaways. I'd have thought you could have found somewhere a bit better for yourself, you know what I mean? Where is it now? Second floor, 109.
And I can't stay awake all the time waiting for you to pop around, can I, Mickey?
Of course you can't, Ted. That's my sentiments exactly. Now then, by rights, I owe you a good hiding for tonight. But we're beyond that here. I mean, long term, that'd just do me more harm than good, wouldn't it?
Correct.
So, it's really got to be one thing or the other, isn't it? I mean, that's the choice you're giving me. So I'll leave it to you. Stay away, or you're a dead Ted. Nothing personal.
Get stuffed. Personal as you like.
All right, Ted. That's how it is. Nice to see you.
Terry?
Ted. This is Janice. How are you?
I've just been told I'm not looking after myself properly.
Mickey might just have a point there.
And the rest. Spotted you outside the Indian.
No way.
Parked in the entry opposite, facing the wrong direction.
Told you. Have to get up early to catch Ted Roach out. Shame you didn't get a result this morning.
Don't start me on the courts. So where's the flying squad watching Mickey Owen?
Mickey's moving up in life.
Not leaning on late-night grocers?
He's a businessman. Been investing his profits. The security van in the supermarket job 3 weeks ago?
No.
Mickey Owen Enterprises.
Didn't think he had it in him. Well, this is what I've got. All the businesses he's been collecting from.
The service station?
All of them down there.
What you playing at, Ted?
I was just winding him up after this morning.
Leave it out.
What do you mean?
Outside us, you've got the best set of snouts in London.
It'd be even better if I could pay your rates.
Couldn't be better in this case.
I don't get it.
Oh, come on, we're the odd bit as well, remember?
Now listen, darling.
Janice here's D.I. Kellner, Ted.
Ah. Sorry, Mom.
So, Ted. Mickey, of course, has an alibi for the supermarket job, which is that he was drinking in the Cockatoo Club from 3 till 5:30.
The cockatoo? He's not, is he?
Didn't you know? Mickey don't like girls. But it gets better. The story is, he's in a private room with someone who just happens to be one of your snouts. Calls himself...
Roxanne.
Right first time.
I don't use him anymore.
Don't be daft, Ted. Once a snout, always a snout. You know that.
Not this one, I don't.
No such thing as don't, Ted.
Now listen, D.I. Kellner. You may not be aware of this, but I am not running after promotion. Now, the one advantage that brings is I don't get pushed into doing anything I don't want to do anymore. Because I've got nothing to lose. I don't use Roxanne anymore. And he certainly won't talk to anyone else.
Burnside.
You go through, go.
Johnny!
E.I. Burnside!
Hello, Frank.
Hello, Jan. I like the house.
Oh, I thought you would. It's Denny Ravillo's.
Oh, well, he won't be coming home anymore. He's in the M25, isn't he?
Last bridge before Loughton, most of him.
That's the shooter game for you. So, what can I do for you?
Mark. Ted Roach.
Cheers.
Is Roxanne there?
No?
Roxanne?
There's no one here by that name.
Do you know whether she'll be...
I'll get him. Can I have a large scotch and a vodka and tonic, please, lad?
Just passing?
You weren't at home. This one seemed the nearest. Cheers. I've had Sam Scouser on the phone for you again. Same as yesterday.
Did he leave a message?
He'd as sooner given me the next winner of the Cheltenham Gold Cup. Which is a bit of a coincidence, really. I've just come from a little meet with a squad.
I told him no.
So I heard.
Roxanne's disappeared. I checked. End the story.
And the rest. What the hell are you doing running around on your own? You're lucky you didn't get your head kicked in.
I was just winding him up. That's all that was left. We didn't exactly get anywhere with the courts, did we?
The way I see it is this. On one side, we got Mickey and the lads, leaning on little shopkeepers and petrol bombing their homes. Now he's putting his money into turning over security vans. Your upwardly mobile villain. And in the middle, we got a snout who can wipe out Mickey's alibi. And on the other side, we've got Ted Roach with his guilty feelings because this same snout got hurt a year ago.
11 months.
You got no choice. You'll have to get Mickey before he gets you.
Oh, come on, I can look after myself.
What, like yesterday? No, I mean it, Ted. You ever do that again, and you'll have me to deal with after he's finished with you. Now shut up and listen. I can't afford to lose you. You'll have to find Roxanne. There's nothing else left. We'll look after her.
I can't.
And get off this for a while. You're drinking too much. Cheers.
Cheers. Hello, Josie.
Hello, Mr. Roach.
Well? I'm looking for Roxanne.
I haven't seen her. Not for months.
I don't believe you.
It's true.
No, it isn't. You know where he is.
Please, Mr. Roach.
Tell me.
She's moved.
Where?
Look, Mr. Roach, everything's changed round here. Mickey runs everything now.
What's that got to do with Roxanne?
Everything, obviously.
Why?
She lives with him.
You tell Roxanne. Dahlia Hotel, 7 tonight.
No, I don't think
He's
I can
to use the VIP door. You got it? Now, you don't forget. The VIP door. And if I have any problems, Josie, I'll find you.
If you ask me, his suspension's on a blink.
I didn't ask. The deal was you keep your mouth shut, so shut it. Thank you. All right, that's far enough. There you go. On your way.
Thanks for a wonderful evening.
It's open.
We always meet in the most romantic places.
What did you want? A chorus of as time goes by?
It's all right. I'm on my own.
How are you?
Never better. It was just the 7 broken ribs and broken finger. And of course my head injuries. I didn't notice a thing.
Well, that's all right then.
Sure, and I suppose it was all right me having to leave me flat, lose me friends, go into hiding.
You could have called me.
I could have, yeah. On the other hand, you could have called me, but you didn't, did you?
I know what they did to you.
Well, now you do. There's your 20 quid back.
Look, I do know, and I know it was my fault. I was careless.
It's only GBH. It'd slip anyone's mind.
I didn't want this. I would have left you alone. But I had to talk to you.
What do you want, Roach?
Mickey.
You're joking.
Don't even begin to tell me that Mickey is just an honest businessman.
Mickey's looked after me, you know? That's a lot more than I can say for you. I don't believe this. Even by your standards, it's coming in.
Oh, he protects you, does he?
If you like.
That's what happened to a late-night grocer's he was protecting in Eastleigh Road.
I don't know anything.
A man and his family lived above the shop.
Oh, don't start. I don't want to know.
Luckily, the man's mother was taken ill that day and they'd all gone over there.
Stop it!
Otherwise, the whole family would have gone up with the building.
I can't help you. He doesn't talk business to me. Besides, me memory's all over the place. You get that with a fractured skull. Comes with the migraines.
Well, apparently you can remember where you were the day the security van was done over behind the supermarket.
Has it occurred to you what happens to me if I grass Mickey up?
We can take care of you.
Oh, yeah. You're good at that, aren't you?
Look, don't keep putting all this down on me. It's the price of justice, that's all. If you're going to put dangerous people away, people who hurt other people and take their property, this is what it costs. It costs me as well.
It won't do you any harm, nicking Mickey Owen.
It won't do me any good either. Failed the board again. They'll never promote me now. This is it. Sergeant for life. You should have seen me when I first joined the force. Keen? Whew. You should have seen me.
Welcome to the grown-up world, where you don't get what you want, where you never get what you deserve.
If I don't put Mickey away, he'll kill me. Now, you might think that's what I deserve.
He wouldn't.
Don't you believe it. He knows where I live, and he knows I live alone. So, it's decision time, Roxanne.
God, I hate you.
So, on the afternoon in question...
On the afternoon in question, I was on my own in the flat from 1 till just after 7, when Mickey came round.
Which was the first time you saw him that day. Mr. McCarthy? Would you confirm or deny that statement, please?
It was the first time I saw him all day.
Thank you. Interview terminated at 21:02. Let me get you some tea.
I'll get it.
That's okay.
Now what?
We nick him. Look after you till the case comes to trial. And then help you arrange things for afterwards.
Afterwards? I haven't got an afterwards.
Don't be stupid.
Thanks.
Sign that. Anyway, it's best if you disappear for a while.
You mean go home for a bit? Keep a low profile? I'll hardly be noticed up there, will I? All the fellas dress as women in Birkenheads.
I was coming to that.
Drag? I don't think it's quite you.
The trial.
What? What about it?
Look, it's going to be judge and jury, Crown Court, ordinary people. And you're the star witness.
No drag?
No.
Go back to being a man? Mr. McCarthy. I would say, is there anything else you're going to take away from me? But I haven't anything left to take.
It's only for the trial. Otherwise, it's all been for nothing.
Otherwise? You've got no idea, have you? Can you imagine what it took to go out like this in the first place? No, of course you can't. All right, Roach. I'll be Mr. McCarthy. No drag.
Thank you.
You know why I'm doing this, don't you? You just give me a minute. It's all right, I'm going to slash me wrists.
I'll be outside.
Chin.
Thanks.
How is he?
He's a she.
Whatever. Is he going to be all right?
She'll play ball.
Good. Well, I reckon we owe you a drink, Ted. Like Terry said, you got the best snouts in town. Apart from us. You should come over and see us. If you ever start to fancy a move.
Thanks.
Well, where's the park?
It's taking its time, isn't he?
Got another 2 minutes. You got the warrants?
Yeah, 5. One for each flat.
All right. One for you. One for you. And I'll keep the rest.
Howell said there was no one working in the boiler room.
Well, when was this?
It was at 10 o'clock and I've just relieved him.
That foreman told me he'd get him to work late.
Well, maybe he did, but now there's no boiler. So that means there's no eating. Now, it's one thing to do without eating, but I mean...
Yeah, all right, Bob, I get the picture.
And, I don't know if this is the right time, but I think...
Yeah?
I think we should hang on to those porter cabins for at least another month. They're supposed to go back at the end of a fortnight.
Yes, I'll sort it. Oh, 2 more weeks of busing prisoners to Barton Street.
Yeah, I know the chief super's not going to be very pleased, so what am I supposed to do
Never
about it?
mind about him. I've got to square it with our one.
Better ring the bell again. Don't want to appear impolite. Signs of life, girl. Oh, good. Right, hammers away, chaps. Morning, love. Mrs. Harper, flat 2?
No.
Well, which one are you then, love?
Number 1, Reynolds.
Yeah, well, look, can we come in, please, love? We're police officers. We have warrants to search these premises for kitchen equipment and other electrical goods which we believe were stolen on the 19th of last month from the Wheelwright Kitchen Warehouse in Fulham.
Come again?
Look, can we just come in, please?
Why didn't you come to me? What, am I black or something?
You know what it's like. The old lady gets impatient.
Yeah, and she ends up with a Talbot Avenger. I could have fixed up with a nice little golf for that price.
Well, next time, eh?
Well, I'll tell you something, Tom. You get any bother with it, give me a bell, OK?
Yeah, sure.
No, make sure you do. Because, you know, this geezer owes me a few favours, and frankly, I mean, a Talbot Avenger. You might be in a bit of bother there.
Yeah, cheers.
Anytime. You know what they say, keep the old lady sweet, and you can concentrate on the crumpet.
Hey, Mark. Off he goes. Well, I suppose we ought to be grateful for small mercies.
Quiet night then, was it?
Yeah, dead as a doornail. Only 2 bodies for court this morning.
I reckon we might need a bit of space.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, CID raiding got out Avenue. Not sure how many arrests.
Your man Burnside doesn't half keep himself busy.
Oh, I don't know. Why is it always me, eh? Every time there's a raid, I'm the one they leave outside. Go at the back, Hollis. Yes, Sarge.
Hold on. How do I know that's genuine? Well, you just have to believe us. We are police officers.
Move inside, sir, please.
What are you talking about? Kitchen gear, man.
Yes,
I ain't got no kitchen
If we could
gear.
just have a little look around, all right?
Look, it's rented, man. Ain't none of it mine. I ain't even got a epoxy toaster.
John!
Come on, you.
All right?
Yeah, no problem. We got him, Sarge.
Good.
Hello. What's all this in, eh?
Don't touch. Where's Burnside?
I wish we bought some charcoal. We could have had a barbecue breakfast.
You haven't got any receipts, have you, sir?
No, they're wedding presents, sir.
You should have made a list. There must be at least a dozen woks there. So, how's the wife? Nick him.
You do not have to say anything unless you wish to do so.
We got it, Alex.
Great, got something else as well. Got a crack factory in the basement.
Oh, nice one. A little bonus.
You might at least have waited for me to sit down. Thank you, Marianne.
Yes, bad timing, I know, sir, but...
5 porter cabins, a portable lavatory, and a mobile canteen for a further 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I have been on to Barton Street, sir, and they are happy to continue helping...
Never mind about
customers.
Barton Street. What's it going to cost us,
Well,
No, I know you haven't. We'll work it out. Let me have it by lunchtime, will you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Marianne.
OK, Mr. Steen, hold this against your nose. That'll stop the bleeding in a minute or so. There's nothing much wrong with this fella. He's fine.
Take him back. Right, thanks, Doc. You won't forget to sign the book before you go.
Sure thing.
Cheers. Right. Tell us again then, how did it happen?
Resisting arrest, Sarge.
Yeah, details, Garfield. It's got to go on the record.
Yeah, well, he tripped up, didn't he?
What on? What on?
Oh, my foot, Sarge.
It's not funny, Hollis.
Your body's bending my ear about a solicitor, Sarge.
What for? He's going to be out in a few hours. Only waiting for a bail inquiry.
Yeah, I'll tell you what for. Means that stuff we found must be the real McCoy.
Well, the lab will tell us that in its own sweet time.
Excuse me, gents. Gordon, quick word.
Yes, Doc.
Rosters next week. Fancy a swap? I hear you've got Billy Steen banged up, Tom.
Yeah.
Our CRD boys will be pleased. They've been looking for him for a bit.
Huh? We didn't think he was that much of a celebrity.
Oh, yeah. He's a nasty little scrote, that one.
Doesn't tell.
You happy with that, Gordon? Only it's the wife's birthday Saturday, and I said I'd take her out.
No, I'm sorry, Brian. It won't be a handling charge. It's burglary. We've got fingerprint evidence and more forensic from your flat.
Why don't you just sit there and think about it for a while? Alistair will stay with you. I'm going to go and see the inspector. Oh, the very man.
Mr. Burnside.
We're going for a custodial on this one.
You want us to keep him in overnight?
Yeah.
I suppose we got no choice then, really, have we?
Not really, no. As it happens, we got him down for 2 more jobs in Luton.
What you want? Congratulations as well.
Well, hold on. What's this in aid of?
Look, we'll put up with you. That doesn't mean to say we have to like you as well. All right.
The feeling's mutual, pal.
See, you're only going back 8 years. I'm talking about Hackney 1969. It was a better place to be.
Showing your age, Sarge.
It's called experience, love. You want to try the older man, you'd see the difference.
Oh, is that a proposition?
Whatever you like, love. As often as you like.
Oh, yeah? That's the best offer you're going to get, Maureen.
No, seriously, love. Hackney 1969. Best nick in the Met, that was. New Malden, Galloway.
My mum's from Hackney.
Yeah?
I didn't know that. I'll tell you what, girls, how do you fancy Hackney dogs on Friday night?
Yeah. I'm game.
Yeah?
Right, then, we're on. Don't waste your time, do you, Tom?
Not me. Right then, that's my lot. See you, girls.
All right, Tom?
Yeah.
Knock 'em dead, mate. Bacon sandwich, love. Come on, I'm a hungry man.
Joking.
There are a few surprises left in me, mate, don't you worry.
Maureen Bacon, what is she? A runner at Hackney?
She's a nice girl.
Oh, come on, Tom, what's your wife gonna say?
Get out, Alec, it's just a bit of fun. Or are you so self-righteous you've forgotten what that means?
Oh, all right, it's up to you, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Hello? Hello? Where is he?
He's gone to the Carsey, Sarge.
The keys? Cheers. Everything all right?
Smashing.
Good boy. Oh, hell. What have you done to yourself? Hey? Look, just stay there. Stay there, I'll be right back. Wheeler! Wheeler! Get Gray and find the inspector, now.
You don't need a surgeon. You're all right, aren't you, mate?
What's happened?
Where's the inspector?
Hold on. Let's just find out what happened for ourselves first, all right? We don't need the inspector.
Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? He's been beaten up.
Is that right, mate? You've been saying you've been beaten up by somebody, yeah?
No. No, I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, he's still talking.
Look,
He's been hurt.
well, I thought he'd already been hurt, actually, Gov. It's on his custody sheet that he got a cracked nose resisting arrest.
Cracked nose, yeah, not a black eye and a cut lip as well. He's a Sunnhill prisoner.
Well, he's a Sunnhill problem then, isn't he?
Oh, yeah? That depends who did it.
Well, look, let's just get one thing straight. It wasn't me. I was miles away. You
Yeah,
got that?
all right, I accept that,
Good.
but-
Now let's calm down and not make a mountain out of a molehill. You stay there. Somebody will come and look after you in a minute, all right? You stay there. Mark, out.
Alan Watkins of 15 Hardacre Road, Luton, drove the van on all 3 occasions, leaving it in a lock-up garage in Malpass Street. To my knowledge, the vehicle is still there. Watkins and I were planning to burgle another premises within a fortnight, this time a clothing warehouse. I have been told that I can alter, add, or correct anything I wish in this statement.
You all right, Brian?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah.
Right. If you'd just like to sign that. Oh, before you do, could you just put, I would like to add, I have no complaints about the treatment I've received there. That bit's just for my benefit.
I thought it was all for your benefit.
Oh, come on, Brian. You've come across, and I won't forget that. You have been most cooperative. Won't be overlooked by the bench. So, we'll all get something out of this.
I'm looking at a stretch.
Occupational hazard, pal. I'll tell you what, get him a cup of tea before he's charged. You don't want to spend too long in a cell, do you?
Oh, no.
Good lad.
But you were the only one with the keys.
Yeah, but I didn't actually have them. I'd put them in the drawer.
You had them on your belt when I got back. When did you put them on your belt then?
Don't remember. It's not important.
I want to know. I think you're lying.
Right, Mark. Let's stop faffing about. Either you beat him up or somebody else did. Did you beat him up?
No.
Right, who did?
I mean, it wasn't. It was only a couple of slaps.
We'll decide what it was, Wheeler. You tell us who it was.
I lent the keys to Terry Coles. I didn't know what he wanted to do with them. He said he was going to have a word with him.
You prat.
Sorry, Sarge.
Why did Coles do it?
Ask him yourself. I don't know.
Now just watch it. You're talking to a sergeant. Just remember that.
All right. Get on with your duties. And don't start mouthing off about any of this.
Sarge.
We're keeping this in-house.
But the surgeon's got to see him. If the surgeon sees him, it goes on the custody record.
All right, don't panic. All in good time. Just leave it with me. I'll have a word with Terry Coles.
Tell you one thing, Brian. You're lucky you're at Barton Street and not Sunnhill. Canteen terrible at Sunnhill. Actually quite good here.
How long are we going to hold on to him?
Look, you've got hours before he's even due for a review.
What's his brief going to say?
What brief? He hasn't been charged.
But he will, won't he? You can't get away with that. It's gone to the labs.
Excuse me. Not busy, are you, Tom? Honey, we've got a prisoner to be charged.
Right, sir.
Evening, Ellison. Here's his statement. Everything all right with you, Sergeant?
Sir?
Nothing amiss, then? That's what I like to hear. When you got a second, we'll have a chat, Tom.
Sergeant's exams, I mean, they're a doddle, love.
Well, I'd like to take them, you see.
Good, good.
But don't say anything, though, will you? I mean, that's why I'm talking to you, really.
Now, I see, yeah, mum's the word, don't worry.
Thanks.
I'll be straight with you, though. There's a lot of hard work and the exams are a pain, but if I can pass, I'm sure you could.
They've probably got a lot harder since you did, haven't
A lot
you?
more laws to break, aren't they? I tell you what, I've got a handbook at home. I can bring it in for you if you like.
Thanks very much. That'll save me taking one from here.
Alec, we've got a problem.
Oh, no, Frank. Come in. It's okay, John. All right, I'll get back to you. Oh, I've just seen Jim Carver. Very successful morning, Frank. Well done.
I thought so, sir. Shame about the other business.
What other business?
Oh, hadn't you heard, sir? Barton Street have lost one of our prisoners.
What do you mean, lost?
Well, not so much lost him, more beaten him up. They're trying to wriggle out of it, but Alec Peters has claimed the body and he's going to make life difficult for him.
Well, I should hope he does. Is the man badly hurt?
No, he's all right.
Does he need to go to hospital?
No, nothing like that. Sorry.
It's a man's welfare we're talking about, Frank. Even so. Do we know who's responsible?
Pretty sure.
Who's the custody officer?
Tom Penny.
Well, I hope we can rely on him and Alec Peters not to close ranks with them. If it's our body, it's our reputation. Sun Hill, not Barton Street, Frank.
Come on, Tom, that is way out of order.
Yes, I know. Calm down, Alec. Now, come on, what do you take me for? I can see your point of view. Of course I can.
Then why are we arguing?
I'm just trying to see things from their side. No, listen. He must have had a reason, a motive. Has anybody asked him that?
Motive? He doesn't need a motive, does he?
Of course he does. People don't go around beating up prisoners willy-nilly like some animal, do they? Do you?
I'm not Terry Coles, am I?
Look, Terry Coles just isn't that sort of bloke. I mean, come on, let's have a little bit less of the holier-than-thou stuff from you. He must have had a reason. He's not going to go around beating up prisoners whenever he feels like it, whenever there's an hour in the month.
Oh, and finding out why he did it would make it all right, would it?
It would explain things, yes. Then we could talk to him, sort him out.
What about the prisoner?
It's been as good as gold, Alec. He doesn't want things to go any further. And that stuff you sent to the lab, it might not be heroin or crack. It might turn out to be talcum powder.
Just listen to yourself.
Alec!
So he says, smashing, Derek. I'll just get onto my opposite number at Barton Street again.
Oh, Mr. Brownlow's not getting involved, is he?
No, he wouldn't do that. It's just that all of a sudden he doesn't mind talking to Hobbs again. Nattering about the weather, football results, you name it. Of course, Hobbs, in his blissful ignorance, thinks he's trying to make friends.
He's just waiting to drop him in it, isn't he?
Brown stuff. He could go into business with the amount he's going to produce at Barton Street.
If Brownlow's in that sort of mood, I'll tackle him about my holiday date.
Good idea. Do it now. Strike while the iron's hot.
All right. Take it easy. I'll tell you what, I owe you one, okay?
You owe me several, mate.
Gotta get on.
Alec.
Yes, Gordon.
Look, what can I say, mate? Puts you back 20 years, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Well, I mean, you've seen a few things, we both have. Yeah?
I thought those days were dead and gone.
Well, look, for what it's worth, Alec, I've just seen the man in question, and I've given him a hell of a hard time, all right?
So?
Well, I mean, he's going to think twice before he pulls another stroke like that, isn't he?
So that's it?
Look, there's no need for us to broadcast any of this, is there? I mean, it's better for all concerned if we don't.
You're telling me to keep my mouth shut?
I wouldn't put it that way. Yeah. Least said, soonest mended, eh?
Sorry, not my philosophy.
Well, look, Alec, think about it,
Don't worry,
mate.
I'm going to go through the property store later.
Because it's everybody else's.
You sure? No problem, Jim. Leave it with me.
Terry?
Catch up with you later, Jim. Yes, Tom.
Look, don't you think we'd better have a talk about all this?
Oh, what?
Well, you know, I mean, what happened? Look. Come on, I can't handle this on my own. I've got people on my back. They're leaning on me.
Well, lean back. Stops you falling over.
Terry, don't muck me about.
All right. I owed him one, okay? Like I said, he's a nasty little scrote. Do you want a list of the number of young lives he's broken? He had it coming. Do you understand me?
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, I know. Look, and I'm sorry. I heard he was in and I saw a bit of red, you know. Tell your mate what's his name. I was out of order and I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, you were.
If I had my way, I'd let Billy Steen out of here without a charge.
Eh?
No, I would. What you've got on him now is peanuts. I'd let him out, back on the streets. Give him enough rope to hang himself for a good long stretch. That's what we should be doing. Going for the big ones.
Yeah, that is a point.
Anyway, I'm glad we've had this little chat. It's cleared the air a bit. Know what I mean?
Sarge?
What?
Got a prisoner, shoplifter.
Catch you later, yeah? Have a drink.
Alec.
You got a minute?
Yep.
Only I heard you got a spot of bother.
Not me, no. No bother at all.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. This bit of silliness down in the cells. You know, Terry, I mean, how far does this have to go?
As far as it needs.
Alec, hold on.
Get stuffed!
What'd I do? Break wind? Empty your pockets.
I don't know how they got here.
So don't get upset.
It's just a...
Empty your pockets.
All right, Sarge.
Just do it.
Steen? Steen?
What?
You all right?
Leave me alone.
Look at me, I'm talking to you.
I said leave me alone.
1 tube of lip salve. 1 bottle of lip
I want
gloss.
the keys, please.
What for?
Just give me the keys.
He's all right, Alec. I've checked him over and he's fine.
Yeah, well, I don't think he is.
Are you questioning my judgment? I'm the custody sergeant. He's in my charge.
Have it your way if you want. I'm going to talk to the inspector.
Alec, can I have a word?
You go to hell.
I don't think, Sergeant Peters, you can have thought about this very carefully.
Yes, I have, sir.
Yeah, well, it's a very interesting story. But let's just find out what the facts are, shall we? Fact. Your prisoner was injured by one of your officers apparently resisting arrest. Fact. He was hurt badly enough for you to call the police surgeon in. Story. You're saying one of my officers came in and took a pop at him. Fact. There is no mention of Coles on the custody record.
Look at the custody record again, sir.
I don't have to.
The prisoner's injuries are listed. They're not the same now.
The prisoner's agreed to make a statement, has he?
Not to my knowledge, no, sir.
I take a pretty dim view of this. We've enough of a headache with you using our station. Now we've got a load of unsubstantiated allegations. You're wasting our time with this.
I'm sorry to put you to the trouble, sir.
Yeah, well, I'll have to talk to PC Wheeler and your custody sergeant. You do realize what could happen if this goes to division?
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Penny will be answering questions as well, you know, not just my men.
I know that, sir.
If the story's true, sounds to me like he was neglecting his duty. Yeah, well, you'll obviously have to stick around. Try and keep out of the way. The rest of us have work to do.
He's got a point. I mean, he has been hurt. I've been saying we should get the surgeon.
Well, get him.
He'll be all right, only a couple of cuts.
Of course he will.
Sure.
I was on the bog.
Well, I was in the canteen. Ask anyone.
Oh, tell that to MS-15, mate.
Inspector Twist wants a word.
Close the door. You know why you're here?
Yes, sir.
And which version of the fairy tale are you going to give me?
Sorry, sir?
Well, I've had some fairly extravagant allegations put to me this morning, plus a lot of contradictions. It also appears that half of you lot went missing at the vital moment. Useful, that, was it?
No, sir.
Well, PC Wheeler seems to be the only bloke who was there all the time. And he tells me no one visited the prisoner. What have you got to add to that?
I think he was visited, sir.
You're calling PC Wheeler a liar?
No, I think he was mistaken, sir. The injuries to the prisoner...
Never mind the injuries. What is all this you think business? Never mind what you think. What do you know?
He was beaten, sir.
I'm sorry.
PC Wheeler's lying, sir. The prisoner was beaten up by Sergeant Coles.
Don't worry, mate. You'll get that looked at in a bit.
What's going to happen?
We're going to get the surgeon back, get you looked at, and then we're going to take a statement.
What for?
We're going to find out what happened.
I don't want to make no complaint.
Don't have to. I've complained on your behalf.
Yeah, but I don't want you to. Just leave it, okay?
Basically, mate, no can do. It's my back I'm covering, not yours.
About an hour and a half. What, you want to come down and collect it yourself? Yeah, that'll be all right. Of course it is, yeah. No problem.
Morning, Frank.
Morning, sir.
Oh, before the meeting starts, I can give you the go-ahead for Operation Middleman.
Magic.
Just the pilot operation at this stage, nothing more, right?
Yes, of course, sir.
Morning, Marion.
Morning, sir.
You won't regret this.
I hope not, Frank. We've put a lot of resources into drugs raised in the past, and we've got precious little to show for it.
Well, no one's more aware of that than I am, sir. That's why we've thought this one through very carefully. We're hoping to target an area of the business that's slipped through the net so far.
When do you think you can move?
Any routine spin could bring in a suitable suspect. Then we hit the ground running.
Morning, Derek.
Stoller! Stoller, you in there? Stop! Jim, open it.
I should get back, yeah. Again.
Jim, downstairs. Tosh to the bedrooms with me.
Yeah. I'll do this.
Yeah. Kenneth Stoller? Kenneth Stoller?
What's the matter?
Kenneth Stoller?
Yeah, who the...
You're under arrest for burglary.
D.I. Chief Superintendent Charles Brownlow here, son. I'm fine, thank you. And you? Good. Look, I just thought I'd let you know that Operation Middleman could be underway any time from now. Well, you've got a perfectly legitimate reason for being there. D.I. Burnside may not like it, he'll just have to live with it. No, I don't think we should tell him more than he needs to know at this stage of the game.
Well, you've been most helpful over the burglary, Kenny. Saved us all a lot of time. You definitely did the wisest thing, considering the fingerprint evidence. I'll be happy to charge him now. Then we can see about bail.
Me too, if it weren't for the drugs.
The drugs. Now that opens up a complete new area of inquiry. Do you know something, Kenny? You could have been out of here and about your business by lunchtime, but for the drugs. So, what can you tell us about that? Remind me, Alistair, what did you find in the flat?
Crystals of cocaine.
Otherwise known as rock or crack. You feeling uncomfortable, Kenny?
What about bailing me then?
That was on the burglary charge. You're not being helpful about the drugs.
And there was a fair old amount there, wasn't there, Kenny? I mean, more than you need for your habit. Enough to make you a bit of a dealer.
I never said I was dealing. I never said that.
I still think we should bail him. I mean, he's obviously keen to be out of here. He's got his life to lead, obligations to me.
I think he'd interfere with our inquiries if we let him out. We'd have to prove me wrong.
What, by helping us?
Yeah.
That'd be the way.
Yeah, well, what do you want?
Well, I'm asking you to be prepared to find the man, Pat Derek. Tonight, if necessary.
If you tell me that's a priority, sir, I'll do my best.
Burnside tells me he's very hopeful with this new source of information.
We've heard that before.
And he has a clearly defined target with the local small-scale crack factories. It's a relatively new problem at Sun Hill. Gives us a chance to nip it in the bud before it becomes a major headache. Or is it your opinion that we can shrug off the crack epidemic despite what we've been told?
Not at all, sir. But if you look at our figures, you can say we average about 70-odd arrests per week. 60 of those are related to alcohol. Haven't seen any members of Parliament dancing up and down about the booze epidemic. But then an interest in the latest dope fashions ensures more free trips to the United States.
As far as we're concerned, that's entirely beside the point. Operation Middleman goes ahead, probably at very short notice. Be ready for it.
Yes, sir.
You can drop me out. I'll drop you when I feel like it, Kenny. I've got words to say. You're out on the street now, thanks to me. Which means from now on, you're mine. You got that? Now, you've offered us information. You've come across with a bit of this and a bit of that. That's why we bailed you. But that was just a taster, Kenny. That was a prawn cocktail. I got an appetite. Now I want to fill its steam.
All I can do is give you names.
Oh, no. No, there's more than just names.
I can't set people up for you.
You coughed your way out of the nick because you need to be smoking the stuff and selling it tonight. Look at the state of you.
You don't know what you're asking.
I'm I'm not asking, Kenny. I'm telling. And I want you to set up a delivery. And I want to know the time and the supplier. So when we walk through the door, the stuff will still be cooking.
I'm glad you brought me in on this, sir. I'm sure it'll be very useful.
Well, it's bound to be, in so many different ways.
I wouldn't like to feel I was putting Inspector Burnside's nose out of joint.
Well, Frank's got used to going his own way. But he's an experienced and intelligent officer. He'll see the point.
There's a message for you.
Yeah?
It's a meeting with Brownlow. As soon as you get in, he said.
Here we go.
Yeah, go on.
You two better tell your lady friends to keep it in the oven for you tonight. You're going to be busy.
This is Middleman.
Yeah, we'll get onto it as soon as we can, but it won't be today.
Come in. Yes, Frank. I'd like you to meet Detective Inspector Ray of the Drug Squad.
Gordon Ray. Good to meet you, Frank.
Gordon.
Well, let's get down to business. Gordon is our liaison officer with the drug squad on Operation Middleman. I'd like you to include him on all aspects of the operation.
Sir. I did point out when I first put this to you that Operation Middleman was supposed to be a Sun-Hill operation.
My brief is liaison on this one, Frank. It's your show. I'm just here to relate your results to the wider picture.
Now that you're clear about that, Frank, I'd like you to run the idea past Gordon.
Sir. Up to now, we've had a gap in our strategy concerning drug distribution. The crap, the users, street-level pushers, well, they get swept up by the uniforms and the crime squad kids. Whereas the top end of the market, the importers, the fat cats, well, they're the province of the drug squad and customs.
And the local wholesalers slip through the net.
Exactly. They move fast from one squad to another before we can target them. And the gear's never on the premises for very long, so if we do give them a spin, well, we're lucky to find anything. And in the case of crack, it's not just distribution we're talking about. It's local factories using perfectly normal kitchens to cook the cocaine hydrochloride into rock.
Mind you, that varies from place to place. In a lot of areas, the users are buying the coke and doing the cooking themselves.
Yeah. Anyway, the factories have only just got started in Sun-Hill, so we want to tread on them now before they become part of the local culture.
Crack's the buzzword at the moment. Schools, press, local authorities all want to know what we're doing about the so-called crack problem. That's why a good result will be very useful politically.
So, what's your method? It's got to be snouts in one form or another.
Sure.
With all the aggravation that entails.
Oh, we don't use old lags. You know the game, they're going to run you around the houses. Get hold of young kids, still wet behind the ears. Bust them, turn them, put them straight back out on the street and say who you're scoring off tonight. And there's your target.
And to make that work, you've got to play your informants very carefully.
You've either got it or you haven't.
I look forward to seeing how it's done.
Oh, you won't see me working with informants, Gordon. But you see the results.
I was right, you know. She is running a bath.
Hey, let's have a look.
No, hang about. Oh, terrific. The windows all steamed up.
That's what I call irony.
You know, there are times when I think the Open University does more harm than good.
Middleman 2 from Burnside.
Oh, cheers, Tom. Here we go.
Receiving, Gov.
Any activity in the streets?
Oi, eh? Oh.
You receiving me?
Yeah, nothing.
No movement, Gov.
If she'd have put the cold water in first, that wouldn't have happened.
Is that true?
Yeah.
What time did he say?
He didn't say it, Simon. It'll be sometime tonight, late tonight, after midnight. These guys don't work to timetables.
That's when your man gets his delivery.
That's right. Sometime this evening, the factory will get the coke and they'll cook it. All right?
If you say so, Frank.
Listen, wouldn't you rather be with Dashwood and Lyons? I mean, they're going to be tailing the courier. That's your side of things, the next rung up the ladder.
I'll stick with you, Frank. I trust your lads to do...
from Middleman 2.
Yes, Michael.
Be aware, a solo motorcycle has just turned into the street, moving in direction of target.
motorcyclist is moving past the premises.
What's he doing? Sweeping the plot?
Could be. Ah. He's turned and he's moving back towards the target again.
Here, you call it.
Middleman units from Carver. Be aware of suspect motorcycle sweeping the area. He's halted outside the premises. Male suspect approaching target on foot.
This is the drop. It's gotta be. Slags in squats don't get their eviction orders by special messenger.
Suspect has delivered package to target premises. Recipient not identified.
Middleman 2 from Burnside. Michael, I want you to stay with the courier.
We can't keep up with a bike.
Well, look, give it your best shot. I want to find out where he goes. I don't want him nicked.
Understood, Gov. Here he comes.
That's my boy. Middleman units from Burnside. Go, go, go! Always carry one of these on night duty or special occasions.
All right, Cuffy, come on. Let's go.
Cheers, Frank. How are you one?
My pleasure, Gordon.
Just let go, you Come on.
All right, Errol Flynn. Where's the gear?
Up Jacks and around the corner.
Oh, it's no good, Tosh. We've lost him. He could be miles away by now.
We've got his number. Give him the information room.
Hang about. Pull in here.
You what? Hey?
I think I saw his bike in amongst that lot back there.
Well, even drug runners are entitled to enjoy a cup of tea now and again. Can't sample the merchandise all the time.
Let's pull him while we can.
Well, if we lose them again, we'll always trace them by the plates.
If they're kosher plates.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
I'll see what I'm doing in the back, all right? Yeah, all right.
You all right? Soaked. Listen, you've done enough for tonight. You get back on the first bus, all right?
Oh, cheers, Skip.
What we got? Oh, well into baking powder, then?
Well, they would be, wouldn't they? This joint's well down market. They usually do the job in a microwave.
Hello?
What you got?
We tucked it up here when we broke in.
Hey, come on, let's have a look. Do you mind if I take a look?
Well, don't spend too long, Gordon. You're not here to enjoy yourself.
I want forensic on this.
Well, of course we will.
It bears a remarkable resemblance to talcum powder.
You're telling me that slag tried to cut your head off to protect the delivery of talcum powder?
Well, perhaps he's concerned about personal freshness.
Greg! We're going. We're going, come on!
Gentlemen, I suppose we're going to leave this place like we found it, are we?
Let's go. And the motorbike courier?
Well, it was just that. A legit motorbike courier. He got a call to pick up the package from a hotel in Finsbury Park. He paid in cash.
Description?
Well, nothing that distinguishes him from a million other blokes. So check the hotel. Man calling himself Johnson.
Oh, him again.
Paid cash in advance for a room for the night. They probably thought he was bringing back a Tom.
And you believe the courier thought it was an innocent transaction?
Well, why wouldn't he?
After all, it flaming well was.
This is precisely what I'd hoped to avoid.
That flat had all the telltale signs of a crack factory.
Coming to that, it had all the telltale signs of a cake factory. What it didn't have was any crack or any cocaine.
Let's get this in perspective, sir. This was not a cock-up by Sunhill CID.
That's dead right.
The operation was blown and deliberately manipulated to discredit the division's strategy.
You're telling me we didn't balls it up of our own accord, we were conned into it? I don't find that very reassuring.
Me neither.
Look, with all due respect, the slags who try to have us over on this, they're going to regret it.
Look, Frank, let me make this perfectly clear. We are not in the business of performing acts of retaliation to save anybody's face.
We should bear in mind, sir, that prisoners are being interviewed and charges may arise from last night's events.
I should hope so. Yes, well, that's as may be. But Operation Middleman is suspended until we find out what went wrong and why.
I hope you're quite clear about the seriousness of your situation. You assaulted a police officer with a deadly weapon.
We could be looking at a charge of attempted murder.
It wasn't attempted murder.
You take a swing at a man with a machete, what would you call it? Eh?
We've got the weapon, we've got the witness. It's down to you to give an explanation.
Self-defense?
This is not a joking matter.
I'm not joking. Self-defense.
Well, how'd you make that out?
Well, you're in your own home.
You weren't in your own home. You were on premises you occupied without the permission of the owner.
We don't have any other home, so it's still home. So you're in your own home, right? Next thing, there's breaking glass, there's doors going in, so you grab the nearest thing to defend yourself.
Don't give me that. Look, the officers who first effected entry were uniformed officers.
I didn't see them. I was in the kitchen.
They identified themselves. They called out, police.
There's glass breaking, there's doors going down, there's screaming and shouting. You can't hear what anyone says. The guy who comes in the kitchen is in plain clothes. What am I supposed to say? Excuse me, mate, are you a cop? The guy just hammered the door down.
You said you picked up the nearest thing to hand.
That's right.
So do you always keep a machete so close to hand, eh, Mark? Expecting trouble, eh?
Like you said, we're squatters. We've been harassed before. Dogs, heavies, and I'm not talking about the law.
The truth is, you keep a weapon because you're in the drug business, isn't that so?
I told you.
You're not afraid of being evicted. You're afraid of being ripped off and nicked. That's why the machete.
No, it looks to me like a charge of attempted murder.
It certainly does.
Attempted murder of a police officer. Well, we'd have to oppose bail on that one.
Very strongly.
Well, you do what you want.
Unless, of course, you could persuade us it was something else. If we could see our way to a lesser charge, perhaps things will be different.
If.
This is just a stupid game!
What do you mean?
Nothing. No more. That's it. Just do what you want.
Just offer a Jimmy.
Right.
No, I'm not.
Finish, Sarge.
You been a good boy, then?
Put him back in full.
Right, come on then. Sooner you sort out your own nick and look after your own slags, the better.
That's what we think. Chin up, Alec.
Sarge, is that the geezer?
Tom Pennygraston? Yeah.
He's not fond of us, is he?
That's the way it goes.
Look, I know it's not a very pleasant position to find yourself in, Gordon.
It certainly isn't, sir.
But as an outsider, you're the only one that I can depend on until this wretched business is cleared up.
I don't care what he says. He must have thought the gear was genuine to have shaped up tricky like he did.
That's right. If they knew the premises were clean, they'd have folded their arms and laughed at us while they totted up the compensation claim.
Exactly. I can't understand why he didn't suss out the gear on delivery.
Well, according to Mike and Tosh, the courier wasn't told to collect anything from them. If you're not being asked for cash on the nail, you don't have to verify the goods on the spot.
So Duggan and his tart were stitched up the same as we were. We can work on that. Where is he now?
Barton Street.
Barton Street. I wish I'd never heard of Barton Street.
That's what Mark seems to think as well.
Eh?
Well, he looked pretty gutty when you sticked him last night, but when the uniforms told him he was going to be held at Barton Street, he turned a whiter shade of pale.
Oh, yeah. Gordon, can I have a word?
Okay.
So, Gordon, this is your hopping off point.
Sorry?
This is where you get off. Operation Middleman's been suspended, so there's nothing left for you to liaise over.
It doesn't quite work out like that, Frank. There's still a lot to be learned from what's going down here. I'm tasked to stick with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you're very welcome to use a bit of our office space, pal. But you ain't gonna see a lot going on. I've got to go out on inquiries myself now, and it's a bit sensitive, so I can't take passengers.
I think we should have a quiet exchange of views, Frank. Outside the nick.
I think you could be right, Gordon. Because you're in severe danger of getting up my nostrils.
There's a snout that put you onto the factory.
Is that right?
Don't prat me about, Frank. Your next move is to lean on the snout and see if he sold you a dummy.
Look, if you know so much about this, Gordon, why are you bothering talking to me?
I want access to your snout.
Well, don't hold your breath till you get it, pal.
Look, I came here to see a drugs bust. What I've seen is either an entry for the Nobel Balls-Up Prize or something a bit naughty.
Meaning what?
Meaning Operation Middleman could have been blown by a corrupt element within this division. Now, maybe your snout knows about that, maybe not. You got off on your own, Frank. Put the arm on him. It's going to look bad for you.
You're a case. Do you know that, Ray? You come barging into my firm, you hang round my operation like a spare what's-it at a wedding, and you end up making that arm bent.
Telling you about appearances.
Who are you to stick your oar in?
Be advised, Frank. Put your cards on the table, or it'll smell like you're stitching something up.
You don't give me orders, Inspector.
Brownlow does, though. Or don't you agree with that? You think you're your own boss, or what?
You want to take this to Brownlow? That suits me. I've got service in at this, Nick. I've had results. That gives me plenty of clout.
Where's Burnside?
Him and Ray are in with Brownlow.
Well, what's all that about? I thought he'd had his bollocking.
I don't know. The way me and Ted have been reading the tea leaves, if you've got shares in our governor, you want to ditch him quick.
Look, Frank, you know that I'm only drawn into the day-to-day operations of CID with the greatest reluctance.
Yeah, well, I've always appreciated that, sir.
But I do have an ultimate responsibility for your activities. And I'm exercising the decision in D. Ray's favour.
What?
I am ordering you to give him access to your informant. Now, this matter's gone beyond the niceties of professional etiquette.
Sir, I must ask you to reconsider this.
That was an order, Frank.
Am I to take it I'm no longer trusted in this station?
Drop it, Frank.
What you have to understand, Inspector Burnside, is that Chief Inspector Conway and myself are going to have to go through the records of Operation Middleman with a fine-tooth comb. And what I desperately hope to find is that that operation was not compromised by an officer from this station. Until that time, no one is to be trusted. Now, kindly cooperate with D.I. Ray and give him the information he needs.
Yes, sir. He's not going to like this. I don't like it.
Just point Stoller out to me and make sure he sees us together. Then I'll follow him down the tube, make the meeting same as you would.
He's my snout. No one else should be working him except me. I've never been dumped on like this in all my years in the...
Leave it out, Frank. I've only got one paper hanky.
Stoller will talk to me. He owes me. He's got to.
Look, I don't want to jump the gun about this.
Go on.
Well, from what we've seen so far, there aren't many places where Operation Middleman could have leaked.
CID.
Exactly. Greg pulled Stoller. He and Burnside interviewed him. Burnside set up the surveillance and the raid. The uniforms didn't know any details about the target until the briefing. Doesn't leave a lot of people in the frame, does it?
That's him. That's Stoller. Skinny git. Looks like if he studied hard, he could be a failure.
Got him. Cheers, Frank. I'll shout for someone to pick me up.
Don't hesitate, Gordon.
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah, right away, sir.
You know what they say about resisting interrogation, Alistair? Just imagine Brownlow and Conway start naked.
I'd rather put my hands up any day.
Glad the situation amuses you.
Hello, Alistair, old son.
Governor.
Scotch ponce.
So, in the course of the interview with Stoller, he agreed to be an informant and offered certain information, which is recorded here.
Yes, sir.
But none of this information refers directly to the premises or the suspects targeted in Operation Middleman.
No, sir.
Did Stoller say anything that wasn't recorded?
No, that's a complete record.
Well, what about informal conversations? In the corridor, after Stoller was bailed?
No other information was given in the station. I wasn't with Stoller after he was bailed.
Was anybody?
Inspector Burnside gave Stoller a lift home.
So when did you first learn about the target premises and the suspects?
At the briefing. Here.
Back to the nick, Gov.
Barton Street.
Right.
Kenny Stoller.
What about it?
You and Greg and Carver pulled him yesterday.
Yeah?
Known to you before that?
Not to me personally, but he's got previous for burglary.
On this ground?
And elsewhere.
Just been talking to him.
That right?
Didn't get anything out of him, not from what he said anyway. But the way he was looking at me, the way he was talking, he was giving off vibes that said we both know this is bullshit, we're playing a game. Know what I mean?
Sure.
So when I was asking him was his information kosher and who could have blown out last night's operation, he was really saying, you don't need me to tell you, you're probably in it yourself.
Ah.
Something in Stoller's experience tells him a cop around here is as bent as a corkscrew.
Look, we've been through all this.
I'm sorry, Frank, but we need to establish what went wrong with Middleman.
I know what went wrong with Middleman. That slag Stoller did a number on me, only you won't let me get to him so I can clear it up.
Listen,
Gordon Ray could walk in here, having pulled God knows what strokes on the drug squad. We don't know him from Adam. He gets the run of the manor.
Inspector Burnside, we wouldn't need to talk to you again if you cooperated with us in the first place.
I got nothing to hide.
You didn't make it clear earlier on that your information from Stoller was an entirely private arrangement between you and him.
That's the way I deal with snouts. No secret.
The way you described it earlier, the information came from an interview you and Greg conducted with him.
It came as a result of the interview. What's the difference?
Before the briefing, you were the only officer who knew where the raid would be.
Stoller knew.
Because Stoller's contact, Mark Duggan, wasn't warned of the raid. Only the suppliers
So
were.
far, I've put up with this. Now, if I'm under investigation, I want a Form 163 laying out the charges against me.
Look, Frank, we're rather hoping that we could deal with this informally.
No Form 163? No comment.
You can use one of our interview rooms when he's free, and make sure you give him back in the same state you get him. We're sensitive about that round here.
Not before time.
Sorry?
He says he hopes it'll be a short time until the interview room's free.
Going for a Joe, young James?
No, Gov. I'm out on inquiries. I'll see you later.
What I'm saying is, I was on the receiving end, and it looked like attempted murder to me.
Self-defense. What, with a machete against an unarmed police officer? It's not on, Mark.
A villain trying to rip off a crack factory might go in shouting police. I could be convinced.
That's a generous view, Gov. But of course it all depends on Mark admitting that he thought he was holding cocaine.
If he admits that, then I might start changing my mind. And if the victim doesn't think it was attempted murder...
Mark might find himself out on bail.
Look, whatever you want me to say, I can't say it in here.
Well, there's nothing more to be said for the moment, Mark. What was the joke about?
You what, Gov?
You made some snide remark to the custody sergeant. He didn't like it.
Just having a bit of a laugh.
Cobblers, what's it all about?
There's a complaint against the skipper, Terry Coles. Thought be one of Sunnell's bodies. Tom Penny grassed on him. So relations are a bit strained, as you might say.
Bloody bet they are.
So what was the message then? What was Mark scared to say out loud? Or am I in the frame and all? I'll be your bagman, Gov, and I'll run around after you, because that's my orders. But if you treat me like a bog roll, you'll find I'm full of splinters.
All right, Tosh, keep your hair on. Can't talk in this nick.
Ah. He could be prattling us about, of course.
This is a slag. He's being offered the door on an attempted murder. What's he want to play games for?
Yeah.
I got Stoller who thinks we're all bent. You tell me Barton Street's known for being naughty, and now this.
How you feeling?
Eh?
Sounds like a good time to go sick.
Yeah. Listen, you know you told me to give you a bell if ever I was thinking about making a major career move. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, that'd be fine. Yeah, well, maybe we can meet for a drink. Yeah? Great, lovely. Well, maybe you can get your secretary to give me a bell. All right. Oi, Tosh! Sorry about that. Listen, I'll get back to you when you get back to me. Okay. Fine. Nice talking to you again. Bye. Well?
Gov?
What's Ray been up to?
He's been putting himself about a bit.
What did he get out of Stoller?
You'd better ask him that yourself, hadn't you?
Tosh, you want to make up your mind whether you're on my firm or not.
I wasn't there when he talked to Stoller, was I?
What else?
He interviewed Mark Duggan.
And?
Nothing.
You start bullshitting me, Lyons, and you're going to live to regret it. They haven't got the skids under me yet, you know.
All right, I'll tell you something, shall I? And see how you like it. This whole deal smells of bent coppers, and I'm watching my back. Because when a diarrhea bomb like that goes off, everybody gets splattered.
In other words, everything we found out, everything you've picked up, points to police complicity.
I'm afraid so.
We're going to have to act on this.
Call in MS-15. We don't want it to look as though we're sweeping this thing under the carpet.
With due respect, sir, I'd like the chance to solve the matter locally, for obvious reasons.
I take your point, Gordon. But we don't want to be seen dragging our feet before we call in external investigators.
How long have I got?
Look, I would suggest that we don't want to go to sleep on this thing. Tonight, we have to look at what progress, if any, we've made and pass the buck upstairs.
I'll have to move pretty quickly.
Right, and let me emphasise, Gordon, you're to do this without cutting too many corners. We've already seen where that leads.
I really think you should reconsider, Mark. I'll give you some time to think about it. Well, is there anything you feel you'd like to say to us?
No. I told you, nothing to say.
We'll leave you now, Mark. But you know how to reach us.
Governor.
Oh, hello, Viv. When are you going to come round and look at my ceiling?
Why, you got a leak? Message from D.I. sir.
Oh, yeah. Make his day. Tell him I'm dead.
It is urgent. He said to try your home if we didn't catch you here or round the pub.
I'm on my way. Thanks, Viv.
You got the picture? You stick with him here until relieved by someone from Sun Hill, not Barton Street or anywhere else.
Right, Gov.
And this is the last visit he gets until further notice.
Got it.
What's this all about?
Late this afternoon, Mark Duggan threw a wobbler in his cell. Eyes running, sweating, complained of stomach cramps. They called in the surgeon. After talking to Duggan, he diagnosed heroin withdrawal, had him brought here.
I didn't know Duggan was on H.
No, well, he's not. I put him up to it. Get him out of Barton Street.
Well, they call me a chancer.
Now he's out of the nick, he's going for the deal. We drop all charges against him and his tart Wendy.
Is he coming across?
Come and have a sample. It's like the Eurovision Song Contest. Again. Come on, Mark. You know Inspector Burnside. He laid his sticker crusher last night.
I've seen the light since then, Mark. I use charm now. What do you got to say?
Last night, I was expecting a delivery of coke, right? I had the customers lined up. Kenny Stoller was one of them. Then this geezer arrives at the door, delivers a package.
Why didn't you check it out?
Well, he didn't want a cash payment. I mean, that's not normal, but, well, it gets him off the doorstep quicker. So, I didn't check the packet, all right? Me and Wendy get ready to cook it into rock. Then you guys come steaming in.
Barton Street.
Yeah, well, it's well known, isn't it?
What for?
There's a sergeant there doing the business.
What kind of a sergeant? Uniform? Detective?
Uniform. Coles.
You met this Coles?
Not before today, no.
Well, how'd you know about him?
Kenny Stoller.
Stoller?
Yeah, well, they look after each other, don't they?
So what happened in Barton Street?
Well, this sergeant comes into my cell this morning. Wakes me up. He's got a towel with him, right? He drags me up. He says, "My name's Terry Coles. Are you heard of me?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I don't need to say any more, do I? And neither do you, slag." Then he wraps a towel around his fist and he slams me in the gut.
Now I'm having Stoller.
Now we're having Stoller, Frank. Who can we put on the ground?
Greg and Carver on night duty.
Ted and Michael still be in the grapes.
Oh, yeah, and old Tosh. You love the old overtime, don't you, Tosh?
Can I ring home, Gov, please?
Can you, hell? This is Operation Corkscrew and I want it watertight.
Go.
That's enough.
He made a sudden movement, which led me to believe he was about to assault me. So I struck him in self-defence. Write that down, Alistair. They believe your log sheets.
Carver, Dashwood, put him in the car.
You've upset me, Kenny.
You dropped Mr. Burnside right in it, didn't you?
You grassed Mark Duggan up to me, and then you tipped Terry Coles at Barton Street the wink, and he warned off a supplier.
Then they sold Duggan a dummy, and we steamed in and looked like a pack of plunkers.
I'm entitled to a brief.
What's a brief gonna tell you?
Keep your mouth shut and see you in Brixton Jail in a couple of months' time.
Not a lot of help, eh?
No, but he's entitled to it. Or the poor little sod could do without what he's entitled to and go home.
Huh, he'd have to think you're his fairy godmother if he believed that, Gordon.
Oh, Kenny can go home all right. Only he'll have to sing for his supper. He'll have to get up in front of an audience and perform.
You know what you're doing with that thing?
Yeah, I've been on the course, haven't I?
Yeah, well, don't point it at me. They make me nervous.
Yeah, just hold it.
Corkscrew 2 from Corkscrew 1 receiving.
Corkscrew 2. Go ahead, Gov.
Are you in position?
Yeah, in position, just setting up the equipment.
Report as soon as you're active. We don't know exactly when this thing's going down.
Yeah, will do.
Do you think he'll show up? I mean, if you were Terry Coles, would you?
If I were Terry Coles, I'd be here already. Sussing out the plot.
If we had Sun Hill's plane van, we could see a lot more through these spiles.
If we had your plain van...
Yeah, I know. Coles would have made us half hour ago.
How much are they spending on vehicle hire for this job, anyway?
Don't ask.
Right, here's a... Will you leave that alone? Here's a £5. Eh? When you get out the car, just give it back to me like a cabbie, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Corkscrew 3, corkscrew 2.
Receiving, Mike.
Checking transmission.
Go ahead.
Mary had a little pig, she couldn't stop it grunting.
You what?
That's enough. Loud and clear.
Go on then, get on with it. Corkscrew 3 to corkscrew 2.
Go ahead, 3.
Jailbait's on the plot.
Understood.
Stoller's supposed to go and look at the departures board. I've got him. Corkscrew 1 from corkscrew 2. Jailbait is in target area.
Understood.
I've eyeballed Coles. Bookstore.
Corkscrew 1. Jailer is on the plot. Wind up the sound, Al. It's easy to pick up the moves.
Right, Tim. I'll tell you over there. Okay, let's sit down. Let's go and sit down. Come. Talk about it somewhere else.
Sorry now.
Are you offering me information or what?
Come on, you've got to help us out.
I'm a police officer. I don't owe you any favours.
Look, I've got Burnside on my back. I've got this geezer Ray.
I don't know why you're talking to me about it.
He's guessed as a wire.
They're going to throw the book at me, Tell. They'll have me in the frame for every unsolved crime on the manor.
They're tough.
Look, with that sort of pressure, if you don't do something for me, I'm going to have to grass you up.
You're talking rubbish. There's nothing I can do for you.
It's blown.
Look, I told you
It's
about
not
the raid on
over
Dublin
till it's
Place,
over.
Yeah? And you dealt with it. You put the word in. I mean, that's what you did, innit, Tell?
Don't you threaten me.
Hello. Corkscrew 1, go!
You're nicked! Get in. You're right. It's an ambulance job.
This is bollocks. This slag tried to set me up, and when it didn't work, he pulled a blade on me.
You scumbag, Coles! He was wired up.
Yeah, well, you listen to your wire, Burnside, and see what it tells you. Sod all!
We got it taped, Coles. I just had confirmation.
Oh, leave it out. I never said nothing. I know the business, remember?
Not audio, video. We got you planting the knife and committing an unprovoked assault.
You're dead, Coles.
Cheers and congratulations.
There you go.
I have to say, I thought we'd blown it.
No, good old Tosh came up with the goods. Coolness under fire, the Kate Avey of Sunhill.
Great bunch of lads. Good esprit de corps.
Yeah, definitely the team to have behind you in a crisis.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
Still, I prefer to keep out of the crisis in the first place. What? As the Duke of Wellington remarked after Waterloo.
Wrong station, Gordon.
Very sharp, Frank. He said it was a damn close-run thing, like tonight. Not the way I like to do things normally. Cutting corners, getting your chestnuts out of the fire just before they go bang.
Yeah, well, everybody's different. Still, you won't have to worry about the way we do things at Sunhill after tonight, will you?
Can I tell you something in confidence?
Goes without saying, Gordon.
Got my promotion. DCI.
Glad to hear it. Hope I don't have to wait till I'm your age, Gordon.
I'll be moving out of the drug squad back to divisional duties.
Oh, yeah? Whereabouts?
Sunhill, Frank. I'm your new governor.
I'm approaching the house now. I'll get back to you as soon as I've found out what's going on. Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
What's the problem, sir?
The woman on the lawn.
Well, who is she?
Her name is Lisa Wayne.
An acquaintance?
No, client. I was the solicitor handling her divorce.
How can I help, sir?
I want her out of here. I'd like you to persuade her to leave.
Well, how long's she been here, sir?
3 hours. She says she's come to move in.
Move in here? Why would she say that?
You better ask her, officer.
Right. What are you doing here?
I've been sent.
Why?
I'm not sure. What's happening?
I haven't a clue.
Sarge.
Oh, where is he?
Sorry, can't help.
What's the problem?
The box of files I need's at the bottom of this lot.
Sod's law.
Did she ask you to come?
She?
Jenny, Jeff's wife.
I don't know.
She must be very frightened.
What of?
Losing him. But something had to be done. It's such a mess. Jenny can't accept it, you see.
Accept what?
That Jeff and I have to be together. I know that Jeff doesn't want to hurt her, but it's better for one to be unhappy than all three of us.
Mrs. Trafford,
Yeah?
called the station.
Yeah, it's next door's dog. It's frightening the life out of me and the kids.
Have you spoken to the owner?
He's not there. He hasn't been for a bit. I'll show you. You stay with Tracy, Jason.
We still have some local difficulty. Better cancel my appointments for the rest of the day and rearrange with apologies.
We met last year. It was a difficult time for me, but Jeff was wonderful. The divorce threw us together. It just happened. We fell in love. At first, we tried hard not to admit it, even to ourselves, but it became obvious. He'd make appointments that weren't necessary. I'd call him to clarify things that were crystal clear. It was crazy.
Has Mr. Thompson asked you to leave?
Yes.
And you refused?
Yes.
Why?
Because I know he doesn't want me to go.
Then why did he send for us?
He didn't. I told you.
There.
Where?
Go and have a look. If Mrs. Thompson did call the station, and I'm not saying she did, this is her home.
Oh, yes, this is her home.
And you're trespassing. Perhaps the problem should be sorted out on neutral ground.
He's locked in, you see. Locked into this and the practice. You don't see?
No.
Her family's got the money. Her father's the senior partner in the practice. So Jeff is completely trapped. He needs all my help to break free. He needs me. That's why I've got to stay here.
That chain won't hold forever. I reckon it's hungry.
And the owners are away, you say?
Not seen nobody for 3 or 4 days. Used to bark a bit, but not like it is now. That's what I say. It wants some food.
You give it something.
It's not my place. I don't know what he likes.
She seems very calm and rational.
Look, we've been through more than enough of this woman. She's phoned, followed, and plagued us for months now. Believe me, persuasion will not work.
Look, I'd like a word with Mrs. Thompson.
To what purpose?
She was the one who called. Ken, has he said anything?
About what? It's a private squabble.
Well, she says they're lovers.
So?
Well, true or false?
It's none of our business.
Look, if it's true, you're probably right. But if it's false, she's a menace. What'll happen if we leave them to it?
If it rains, she'll get wet. You're making a meal of this, Viv. Let's get her in the car. It's just trespass. What's the problem?
She'll be back. That's the problem, and so will we. Did you know Mrs. Thompson's father controls the biggest legal firm on our patch?
Oh, so we're into politics.
Well, why do you think I'm here? Her father talked to Brownlow on the Masonic tom-toms.
That's the one.
What's all this?
I need a file from the R2T box, sir.
R-O-T, more like.
There it is. Oh, thanks, Alec. Sorry, sir.
Was that the clerk of the works car in the yard?
I think so, sir.
He told me tomorrow. Send somebody out to find him, will you? I don't want him leaving here until I've seen him.
Right you are, sir.
You know what those cowboys have done now, don't you? They've only fitted the wrong window frames.
Oh, dear. Would you like me to leave the boxes like this, sir, for easy access? No, right.
Yes, hello.
WPC Ackland. Mrs. Trafford from 2 doors down called us complaining about the dog next door. I just wondered if you'd seen anybody there recently.
Come in.
Excellent.
I feel sorry for her, even now. People are emotionally very vulnerable when they're in the middle of a divorce. Geoffrey's very good, very understanding with them.
It's my job.
I knew from my father, of course, that a solicitor often has to have a close relationship with his client, but this woman, she's become so dependent on Geoffrey, she feels she can't live without him. She's fixated.
Love is the word she uses.
They give a lot of pleasure to some, I know, but I'm not one for dogs.
Have the people next door gone away, do you know?
She has.
She?
Margie and John. Nice young couple.
I'm sorry, you said she has.
I keep myself to myself and I don't gossip.
Oh, she's left him, has she?
Well, I don't know for certain, but I think so, yes. I was pinning a few bits and pieces out on the line on Sunday. How's Margie, I says. Don't know, he says. Didn't need to say no more. Dear, that's the way things are. They never stick at anything these days, do they?
I think she might go quicker if you talk to her, sir.
He's already tried.
I know.
The only way Geoffrey could get her to leave would be to promise to do something, to meet, to talk another time. It would only make things worse. She's desperate enough already. She's threatened to kill me, you see.
Why didn't you tell me this, sir?
She's threatened all sorts of things.
Do you think she's capable of harming you?
Well, I don't know. I can't tell.
Now, what do you say to me putting the cases in the car, eh? You've made your point.
It's not about making points, it's about making commitments.
Look, I know you're upset, but we can't let this go on now, can we? It's not doing anyone any good. How about I put just the one case in the car? Just the one case.
Put it
we can
down!
Look, don't be silly! You're not doing yourself any... I could charge you with assault for that. You're running out of goodwill now. You're going to get in that car. I was just trying to move things on a bit.
Yes, well, don't.
Quick tap should do it. Stand back.
I've got a key if you're interested.
I'm dealing with this.
Do you mind if I get out? What's going on?
The woman at the front, Lisa Wayne, said Mr. Thompson promised to marry her.
And she's come to make sure.
Right.
Even if it means disposing of Mrs. Thompson.
How do you know that?
What's Mr. Thompson saying?
He wants her shifted pronto.
Now he's had his evil way.
He says he was just a solicitor handling her divorce.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know him?
Yeah. She a nutter or what?
What do you mean?
Deranged, loopy, crackers. Does she respond to rational argument?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
She responds negatively.
Women. Go on, push off.
Yes, sir.
Stay with Mrs. Thompson.
What about Lisa?
Just do it.
Right.
You'll be fine. Long time no see, Frank. Now that I've left the criminal side of the practice, I've lost touch. You're still a DI.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Last time I spoke to you, we were seeing the same woman. Diana? No, Donna. Was she a client?
No. Don't think I'm ungrateful, but This is a bit heavy-handed for trespass, Frank.
Bit more than that. I understand that Lisa Wayne has threatened your wife's life.
I assume the old man's talked to Chief Superintendent Brownlow.
That bothers you?
I take Jenny's safety more seriously than anybody, including her father.
I'm not arguing. I've just been asked to assess the danger, that's all.
I haven't encouraged this woman.
I didn't say you had.
Did he suggest it?
Not as far as I know. You haven't, have you?
No. Would it matter if I had? She's out there. We want her moved. End of story. Full stop.
Ah, but it wouldn't be full stop, would it? She'd be back. Maybe with something a bit more lethal than a pair of suitcases. Lots of people threaten to kill other people. Some of them mean it. Some of them do it. I've got to know what's going on if I'm going to be of any use to your wife.
I slept with her once. Stupid.
WDC Martella tells me Lisa Wayne's got a list of dates when you met.
Made up, imagined.
Except the one.
Had a couple of meetings afterwards. Public places, trying to mend the damage.
Who phoned the station?
Jenny. She thought the sight of a uniform might do the trick.
You weren't keen.
Well, it's an embarrassment. But better to be safe.
In view of the death threat?
Yes.
Did you hear her threaten her?
No.
Anyone else?
I don't think so. Why?
Just wondering. Tell me something. Does your wife know about the one occasion?
No. Lisa's told her, of course, but she doesn't listen.
No? She knocks. You open the door.
Yes.
What does she say?
Nothing.
But she scares you.
Lately, yes. Sometimes when I've been out, she's waiting. Hiding sometimes. At night, I shine the car headlights across the garden before I get out.
Tell me about her threat.
She came by taxi. It was Geoffrey's birthday. She came with a card and a present. I refused it. She left them by the door. I was furious. I picked up the parcel and I threw it as far as I could down the road. She was standing by the taxi. "I'm going to kill you," she said. Very calm, very cool. "I'm going to bloody kill you."
Hello, love. Detective Inspector Burnside.
Inspector?
Yeah.
Jenny's father.
Mrs. Thompson says you've been making threats. Threatened to kill her. No? Why would she say that?
So that you'll get rid of me. So that Daddy will help. She's trying to save her marriage, Inspector.
She says it happened on Mr. Thompson's birthday. You came here in a taxi with a gift. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So what happened?
I thought Jenny was away, so I left the present by the door and walked back towards the taxi. Then I heard her screaming behind me. She was hysterical. And as I got into the taxi, she threw the parcel into the road, screaming, "I'll kill you, I'll kill you."
What's in the bag?
Underwear.
May I? Come on, love.
Satisfied? Well?
I'm off, and so are you. Nicker.
What for?
Threatening behaviour. She's close enough to the public highway to cover it. Look, it's just something to get her in the car and away.
That's your solution.
My solution is to bang all three heads together. Look, I've done my bit for Brownlow, and I am satisfied there is minimal risk to life or limb.
Oh, really? No risk?
Minimal, I said. We can't stand around here all day playing silly beggars.
Look, sir, I just think that you
Don't think.
Sir,
What?
if I'm going to make a contribution to CID, sometimes you're going to have to listen.
It's time, Viv, time.
I think there's a serious risk here.
Female intuition?
If you like.
I don't like. For a start, there has got to be intent and a weapon. I can't see her doing anybody over with a pair of knickers.
You're making a mistake.
About this or about you?
Both.
What do you want?
I'll help shift her, but I want to stay on it.
For how long?
As long as it needs.
All right, come on.
Hello. It's down here.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather just get in the car? Any kicking or scratching, and I might forget I'm a gentleman. Take her legs. Well, that just leaves Her Majesty's cases.
Read it.
I know what it says, Inspector.
Thermoblock aluminium frames.
It also makes provision for substitutions of like for like. And since there is a supply problem...
Like for like, is it?
Double glazed aluminium frames.
Guaranteed against condensation?
On the glass, yes.
But not on the frames.
Is that a problem? One doesn't look through the actual frame.
No, but one does get droplets forming on them, doesn't one? Droplets that dribble onto the windowsill, onto important files that have been left there on. I may only be forced liaison, Mr. Rogers, but I have done my homework.
What will you do?
Slap her wrists and send her home. This is private. You need an injunction if you want to call us out again.
I didn't call Frank.
Oh, no. Of course, so you didn't. I'd think about getting back into criminal law if I were you. You get a more predictable class of client in our game.
Are you busy, sir?
No, just a bit of filing.
Yes, you're busy, sir.
Tosh,
Yes, sir.
I want you.
What is it, sir?
Window frames.
Window frames.
You see, we'll never get another chance to get the station right.
That's true, sir.
Like for like, he says. Then it'll be next best, I suppose. Then anything will do. I want you to look into them.
Look into them?
The setup, the contractor and the clerk of the works. Too cosy.
I'm not with you, sir.
Well, they bung us something cheaper. He okays it. What does he get out of it? Do some digging.
Sir.
What?
I'll do what I can, sir. Shipping out with it. Wait, Gov! Gov! You're going to have to talk to the boss about Conway.
Oh, what's he been up to?
He's asked me to look into the possibility of collusion between the building contractors and the clerk of works.
What, here?
Yeah, backhanders for accepting below-spec materials.
Nice one. So where's he going to stick the fraud squad? In the Portaloo?
If you've got the last portion of anything, I'll have it.
Derek? Derek?
Sir?
I saw the clerk of works car earlier. Everything on schedule?
A few niggles, sir, but we're getting there.
Good. I realise how disruptive this has all been, especially for you. Still, not long now.
No.
Perhaps you should think about taking a spot of leave.
Me, sir?
Yes. You know, recharge your batteries before the move back.
But I can't leave everybody in this mess.
There'll be no resentment from anybody, believe me.
No, but really, sir, it'd be fatal to let things slip now.
Well, think about it, will you?
Well, thank you, sir, but I already have.
All right, Jack. I warn you, I may ask you again.
Mrs. Beak, it's WPC data.
Come in, come in.
Kilo Whiskey 85, South and Eldridge Road, we have a motorcycle failed to stop. Foxtrot, 933 Foxtrot, Golf, November, driver and passengers pursuing.
Of course, it's been around since the dawn of time, hasn't it? Drink. Man has always needed to escape from reality.
Sounds like those two on the motorbike are trying to escape from reality. I wish they'd come over this side of town. Give us something to do.
Come to think of it, June, the Romans probably had some sort of charge for being over the limit in a chariot. You know, we'd probably been stood here doing exactly the same thing if we'd booked on 2,000 years ago.
Sometimes feels like we did, Reg.
Yeah, I've never liked nights. You get so bored.
He's turned into the Askell service road. Speed about 60. Can any available vehicles intercept? Kilo Whiskey 84, we're in Bourne Road. We'll intercept him, over. Kilo Whiskey 84, he's past us, turned into Tolwyn Road. In pursuit, over.
So, we'll be passing from time to time during the next few nights, Mrs. Beak. Hopefully you won't have any more trouble. Oh, I enjoyed that recipe, by the way. Thanks very much.
I'm glad. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anytime.
No offence, but I don't believe half these stories. I reckon she just wants a bit of attention.
Have you thought of CID yet, Dave?
Very funny, Narika.
I mean, you've obviously worked out that this Vietnamese family sprayed all that graffiti over their own front door.
Kilo Whiskey for Kilo 1. Outside of motorcycle west in Gatley High Road. He's going extremely fast towards the green. In pursuit, over.
The Yard have linked it through to us. Must think he's coming our way.
Yeah.
Can anyone assist?
That's what I'd like to be doing right now.
What, nicking motorbikes?
Area car. What's up with you, eh? Oh, no, I'd much rather be hanging around all night waiting for somebody to shout names through a letterbox.
They've reported harassment on a regular basis several nights a week.
Reported it? Yeah, well, it still doesn't mean it happened, though, does it?
The husband got beaten up.
Speaking of CID, it's Mr. Carver.
I wonder what he wants.
I can't imagine Narika having a clue.
You busy?
Well, it's night, isn't it? The action never stops.
Kilo 1. He's at the roundabout. In pursuit, over.
Oh, another 5 minutes, he should be over here.
Oh, never mind, Dave. It's closing time. You'll be able to nick a few drunk drivers now. But you'll have to do it on your own. I'll come to borrow you.
What for?
Woman I'm bringing in Eastleigh Street. I need a WPC.
Don't we all?
Well, I've cleared it with the duty officer.
Well, it's no problem for me, Jim.
Good. We'll be off then.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
He's onto the flyover. Intercept vehicles, please. He's coming over. He's turning. He's turning back. He's passing us. He's going into the oncoming traffic. He's off. Request ambulance, please, immediately.
It's all happening.
I'll try just once more.
Shall I try her in the back?
Nah, Loretta's not the type. She'd open up and front it out if she was here.
I'm afraid we've had a wasted journey.
Oh, well. It's always nice to sit down for a few minutes.
Here we go. Could you switch your engine off, please, madam? Is this your vehicle?
No, it's his.
Oh, I see. Would you mind stepping out of the vehicle, please, madam? Have you got your driving licence on you?
Yes, it's here.
What is this?
There's no problem, sir.
There certainly is a problem. What are you stopping her for?
The car was being driven dangerously round a corner.
Have you been drinking, madam?
Now look here.
Lindsay! Haven't you forgotten something?
What do you mean?
You're not wearing any trousers.
Trousers are not the point at issue here.
I suggest you get back in the car.
I'm perfectly decent.
It's very cold out here. Oh my God!
Would you mind getting back inside the car, please, sir?
That's nothing.
Right, that's it.
Catch me if you can!
Oh, God!
Oh, God! So what's his name?
Lindsay.
Yeah, Lindsay what?
I don't know.
Bit of a joker, is he?
I only met him this evening at a party.
Sierra Oscar from 643. We have a naked IC1 male running along Fennel Road towards the park, Sarge. Reg Hollis is chasing him.
They're very happy together.
It seemed quite nice at first.
I ought to be getting back. Dave will be moaning enough as it is.
I'll just give her another moment. So how's it going?
Sun Hill. It's great fun. I think it's the best job in the world.
So do I. Of course, it's important to get away from it and all that. And have something else in life. I don't expect that's easy with your culture.
I'm rather more independent than a lot of women from Asian families.
Oh, so no arranged marriage?
Nah, I've always been able to choose my own boyfriends. Of course, my parents like some more than others, just the same as your parents might not like your girlfriend.
Well, a bit sport for choice at the moment.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm not seeing anybody just now. As a matter of fact,
My boyfriend's a teacher. I don't think I could stick that, could you?
No, not me.
Anyway, we can't stay here all night.
No. Thanks anyway.
Yeah, that's the trouble with Japanese cars. It's bodywork. That's why they... What's that?
Up on the roof, two of them. Looks like kids.
Let's go.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1. Suspects on the premises. Strapped down by the railway.
Right, where's that streaker?
Now, time not only goes backwards, but with your black holes, right, the actual process of time ceases to exist.
Yeah, could do with some of those round here.
No, there's a bloke down a pub was telling me you can only age sideways like that.
Come and tell you, God, will you? What happened to that motorbike chase?
Dead on arrival. I thought you were out with Norika.
Oh, she's off doing herself a bit of good.
She is if she got away from you.
Jimmy Carver asked to take her along to arrest some woman.
Oh, yeah? So what are we talking here?
Well, I think you can place your bets, gents, that WPC Data will make CID before she's got her knickers back on.
You busy then, Dave?
Wish I was, mate. Yeah, look, last chance. We open in the book or what? £5 each way.
Speculation is not proof. Too right.
So what's this, a Federation meeting?
Always something to learn off a more experienced colleague, Jim.
Yeah, the old man always has the edge. That right, Norika?
I'll have to ask your mummy if it's all right to tell you.
416 receiving, over.
Are you anywhere near St Matthew's Gardens?
Yes, Sarge. George and I are on Eastleigh Road.
Number 12, St Matthew's Gardens. A man seen acting suspiciously near parked cars. He's thought to be naked. He's probably that streaker.
Yeah, got it. He's getting around a bit, isn't he, Sarge?
Must be getting pretty cold by now.
Yeah, I heard Tony Stans had a nice little Polak.
Again.
You can laugh. I was chasing suspects, doing the job, right?
Yeah, of course you were, Tony. Shame they got away, really.
There seem to be a great many officers here. I think you'd better explain.
I've never been in a Pollack before.
I have. This is my fourth. If this one's to count, I could be taken off driving altogether. I mean, I was just doing the job, chasing suspects. I mean, that's what we're here for.
It wasn't your fault. I saw...
It's appreciated, Kath. Forget it.
Really, what's the difference?
Sir, he's the difference. You know what Andy Munro's like. Go through our statements like a shark after blood. Leave it as it was. You're out of sight.
Who's reporting the accident?
Who can you think of you would least want to do it?
Ah, so you've come up against it this time, haven't you? Hey? Come up against... No, it's just a little joke, that's all.
I'm cracking up, Rich.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. You've had a very stressful experience.
No, I meant coming up against it.
Ah. Look, I'll be finishing the interview with Tony now, Catherine. Do you want to wait in here or in the canteen?
Whatever you say, Reg.
Now, look. I just want you to relax. I want you to tell me what happened in your own words.
Yes, I know, Reg. I've reported accidents myself.
Yeah, well, a few details. First, name.
What?
Your name.
We've been at the same station for the last 3 years.
Let's go up and have another look at that Vietnamese flat.
Oh, I was wondering how long that was going to take.
Is something wrong?
Well, you would take them a bit more seriously, wouldn't you?
More seriously than who?
Me, if you like.
The doctor confirmed the husband's been knocked about, the wife's been insulted and spat at. I take that seriously. Or aren't they entitled to the protection of your crown?
Yeah, look, listen, look. Don't get me wrong, right? I know a lot of that goes on. But, well, these people, they got their backs to the wall. They've got nothing to lose. They get given a council flat, probably seems like a palace to them. And when they see some of these rich people's houses, they think, well, you know, if we kick up enough fuss, maybe we'll get one of them as well. They're just trying it on, that's all.
Is that why they're both doing 2 jobs? Even his old mum does sewing at home. She's 82.
How do you know?
I talked to them. I can't imagine she was too keen to go off to sea in some rust bucket. How would your gran feel?
Come on, then.
What's he doing? Is that him? Can we have a word, mate?
I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, it won't take a minute.
Look, what's your problem?
There's no problem, sir. We just wanted to ask you why you're running down the street.
Look, I'm in a hurry. Have you got anything better to do?
Look, it's 2:05 in the morning.
Exactly. Now, will you get out of my way?
And you're running down the street. You've got to admit that's a bit suspicious. And we're not accusing you of anything, but it's our duty to inquire what you're up to.
Listen, I'm trying to get home. I'm late. I'm in a hurry. Now, will you get out of my way?
I've no wish to detain you any longer than necessary, sir. Now, can you tell me your name?
Quayle. Derek Quayle.
Right, Derek. Do you live round here?
26 Moffat House.
And you're going home? Now, would you mind telling us where you've been?
I've been seeing some friends.
Whereabouts?
Oh, come on. How many times have I got to tell you? I'm in a hurry. I told my wife I'll be home by midnight.
Have you been dressed all evening?
So that's it.
Something you want to tell us then, Derek?
Look, I've been playing away, all right? It's not a crime.
What isn't?
You know all about it, don't you? So I've been playing away, all right. I know she's one of your lot, but so what?
A policewoman?
Traffic warden. Same thing, innit? Look, I'll give it a miss, all right? Just don't come round to our house, for God's sake.
Yeah, all right, we've no need. What's her name?
Sharon Harris, Mrs. 14 Margrave Gardens.
Yeah, all right then, Derek. Thanks for your help.
Oh, that policeman, wonderful.
Oh, well, little Sharon. Butter wouldn't melt. Evidently it would.
Reg, how can I make it any clearer? I drove into the car park and I hit the first vehicle. I continued the pursuit. A naked man ran out, I swerved and hit the second vehicle. That was it.
Are you sure he was naked?
He looked it to me. I only saw him for a second.
When I chased him, he was still wearing underpants and shoes.
He might have been still. I wasn't looking at him, was I? I was chasing suspects.
Possibly he'd discarded them altogether by now and was completely nude.
Reg, try and understand.
Yeah, but look, I'm just thinking, that's all.
Well, don't! Just for now. Imagine.
Look, if I can just cut in on myself, as a reporting officer, you know, putting on one of my other hats.
Reg, what are you talking about?
As your Federation representative, I'd have to advise you to bring an action against him.
Who?
The naked man. Or semi-naked, as the case may be. As I say, when I encountered him, he was still partially clad.
Reg, never mind that. Why?
Well, it was his fault, wasn't it? You swerved to avoid causing him injury. That's a very disturbing sight. Very. A naked man.
sea, just you Ackland and me.
You'd want to bring your bucket and spade, love.
Didn't want to book it last time, June.
No, but you were such a disappointment. I'd need something to do.
Is it true Tony Stamp's taken over road safety? No, he's going to be too busy running the driving course at Hendon. Is it true Norika's going to CID? Or is CID going to Norika? Yes, blonde, unattached, and only slightly overweight. Jimmy Carver is every girl's dream. Some enchanted evening, he may meet Norika.
Some enchanted evening, she might get on a relief where the combined IQs reach double figures.
Sierra Oscar to all units, pack it in.
Well, nobody seems to be bothering your boat people.
Let's just go up and see.
Oh, come on, we can see from here.
Of course we can't.
Look, while it's quiet, I just want to check Slater's lockup. I swear he's got it full of bent gear.
You'll never get in there. It's got about 20 locks on it.
I just want to have a look. I won't be long.
You're wasting your time. I'm going to check upstairs. Yes? It's the police. You're up late.
This was our house.
It's lovely.
It was destroyed. This is the garden. This is my mother. She's standing next to the car.
Oi! Stop, please! I said stop, please!
Urgent assistance. Howell's house, Grendon Flat. Top floor.
Right, come on, boys, quick. Go for it, come on.
Petrol bomb attack on number 32. Fire burning. I don't think we can get out.
Come on! Where's your mother?
I don't know.
You can't!
She will die.
The fire brigade's on its way. You can't.
Murderer! Murderer!
Cheers, Jim.
How's Dave Twinning?
Yeah, well, he won't be going out dancing for a couple of days.
Sorry. It was a fire, it shook me up a bit, to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, how can people do things like that? And Dave, he could have been killed.
Yeah.
People are bastards, aren't they? How do you deal with it?
The 4-week golden rule, son.
What's that?
It's always remembering that if you don't like the job, you're only ever 4 weeks from out. That's all the notice required, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Mind you, 4 weeks is a long time sometimes.
Yeah.
I thought you might like a lift home.
Oh, it's all right. I've got one, thanks. Tony Stamp's taking me.
Tony Stamp?
Something wrong?
Well, no, it's just that... Well, you have had a bit of a rough night, and he has had another Pollack. I just thought...
Listen, I've tried it nicely. Get the message. Not interested, all right. Sierra Oscar out.